What's up, everyone? Aaron Negler, Cheesehead TV. I'm with Charles McDonald, the lead NFL writer there at the New York Daily News. Fine establishment. I read it all the time. We're talking Vikings, Saints, the big matchup in the wild card weekend for Packers fans, I think, because I think most Packer fans and I think most NFL observers think this is probably the Saints game to win. Now, for the Vikings to go in and pull off the upset, I think the guy behind you, Dalvin Cook, has to, perform at a very high level, probably be very productive. Can Kirk Cousins get back to the efficiency, the big plays, everything we saw based basically off that play action because Dalvin Cook was so good?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen enough studies that, show us that you don't have to be great.
You don't have to be very effective in
yeah,
the game.
but I think it
can't hurt.
It can't hurt. Like, if you can get the Dalvin Cook that to start the season was looking like maybe the offensive player of the year.
Right.
Where he was just steep.
Oh, yeah, that first month or so, he was just
unbelievable.
Unreal.
Yeah, if you can get him back to that point, I don't see why they can't go into New Orleans and beat the Saints. I mean, it's going to take the run game working with the pass game and, like you said, creating those big plays over the top to Stephon Diggs because Adam Thielen hasn't been right pretty much the second half of the season. I know I think he played almost the entire game versus the Packers or either.
Yeah, he did and was barely effective at all.
He didn't do much. So it's really become a one-man show on offense there with Stephon Diggs and Kirk Cousins just trying to make things work. But if they can get back to just – when you watch him, it looks like a Kubiak offense.
Very much so. Especially when they roll him out and get him those kind of high-low reads to one side of the field.
Right.
Keeps it easy,
And they're getting these guys just wide open at the intermediate portion of the field.
Right.
That's how you make this thing work. But we were just talking off air about how this is a weirdly strong year for 6 seeds, and for a team like the Vikings to have a passing offense that's this good. Their defense is still all right too. I mean, for this to be as like the profile of a 6 seed is pretty crazy.
Now, you look at the Saints. They've been putting up 30-plus pretty much on everyone week in, week out for seemingly forever. Can they keep it up against Zimmer's defense? Because, look, I know they're at home. I know Sean Payton is the offensive wizard and Drew Brees is setting records, et cetera, even though most of them should have an asterisk next to them because of the liberated passing rules. But I won't go down there right now. But can they keep it up against Zimmer and company? Because this is, like you said, this is a strong team, and this is a strong defense with legit playmakers at all three levels. I know they're suspect at corner, but they got talent.
Yeah, I'm just not gonna bet against Sean Payton and Drew Brees at home. I mean, they're just so. I'm a Falcons fan, so it's very frustrating. It's very frustrating to watch.
I'm sorry, we got to talk about it.
But I mean, just the way that they're able to really no matter who they have out there. Obviously, Michael Thomas is a stud and one of the best receivers in the league.
No question.
Drew Brees is Hall of Fame quarterback, but around them, the pieces change a lot. A receiver, they change at tight end, sometimes even a running back. Even though Kamara's been a fixture, they've just input Latavius Murray in there, and it just always seems to work. Like even this Taysom Hill crap that they do,
Taysom Hill crap. Thank you for saying so. Packers fans are still up in arms that they let this kid go, and I'm like, A, he would ever been used that way in Green Bay. B, it's a play here or there.
Right.
It's not that big a deal.
But the fact that even that they have taken this guy and he
made him something.
Right. Made him like a legitimate offensive weapon at times. It's crazy. And just to bet against that level of creativity, that level of just how in sync those two are, it's hard for me to go against that.
Well, and that's what's crazy too is you talk about Alvin Kamara being a perfect example of a guy who was obviously injured for a good stretch of the season, but even when he was playing, he wasn't scoring a ton of touchdowns. He was moving the ball. He's an effective part of the offense, but they can hurt you so many different ways that Alvin Kamara doesn't even have to score a number of touchdowns. He can just be a weapon that hurts you.
Yeah.
And they've got a number of those kind of guys.
It's annoying.
It's annoying for Falcons fans, no doubt about it. So, I don't think I really need to ask, but what's your pick for the game? Who's going to be the winner?
I'm going to go with the Saints.
Yeah.
As much as it hurts me to say it. I just think all in all, they're just a better team, better coached. And, I think that they just seem ready to go on a little bit of a run.
Yeah, right, till they get to Lambeau and lose. But we'll talk about that next week, maybe. Sounds good. I'm talking to Charles McDonald, the NFL lead writer for the New York Daily News, here on Cheesehead TV.